Before the stars were placed in the sky, I whispered your name into eternity. You've felt it, haven't you? That trembling in your spirit that wakes you before dawn. That silence that speaks louder than any noise. That sense that something is coming, not just a shift, but a holy interruption. This is that moment. You have not been forgotten. You have not been overlooked. I have been watching you, not with eyes of judgment, but with a gaze that sees beyond time. I have counted every step you took in faith, even when it felt like walking blindfolded through the wilderness. I saw how you kept going when hope barely whispered your name. Now listen closely. There are only 2 minutes left in the unseen realm before something sacred turns its face toward you. I did not say this lightly. What is approaching is not chance. It is not coincidence. It is the unfolding of a design I began before your first breath. This message is not for the masses. It is not for the curious or the entertained. It is for the one whose heart has been aching with questions that words could never shape. You. I sent Archangel Michael to stand watch over the gate of your spirit. He has not left his post. He has cried out in the silence, hoping you would finally pause long enough to feel the urgency echoing from heaven. What you do next matters. There is a blessing hovering close. Yes, your name is written upon it, but danger breathes nearby as well. Not all delay is divine. Someone you trusted has stood in the shadow, rerouting your path with words dipped in poison. This is your awakening. Let this settle within you. You asked me once, in the quiet of your exhaustion, why is everything so hard right before something good happens? Because the spirit realm moves before the earth catches up. And right now, the earth is trembling with the weight of what I've already loosed in heaven for you. There is a name that echoes in your spirit, a presence you couldn't quite shake. That's not imagination. That's not nostalgia. That's alignment. Your soulmate. Yes, the one who once drifted like smoke through your memories. The one whose absence created a wound deeper than words. They are not far. Not anymore. But what returns to you is not what once left you. They are no longer clothed in the same shame, nor hiding behind the same silence. They carry truth now, but it is not a gentle truth. It is raw, scarred, sacred. A confession long buried under the rubble of betrayal, misdirection, and pain. This truth has the power to bind or break, to restore or ruin. And that is why I had to wait. If I had revealed it before now, your heart would have rejected it. You would have mistaken healing for harm, but I have softened you in secret. Through every lonely night and unanswered prayer, I have been preparing your spirit to receive what would once have terrified you. Still, I must warn you, not every voice around you is pure. Someone near, someone you still smile at, has played the role of a destroyer cloaked in concern. They lied to the one I sent for you. They whispered sabotage into destiny's ear. They nearly succeeded, but I stepped in, and I am not done. Breathe, and carry this with you. Heaven has waited long enough. There comes a moment in every soul's journey where the unseen and the seen collide. This is that moment for you, the one I formed for you, the soul your spirit has cried for in silence. They are awakening. But hear me clearly. This reunion is not a fairy tale. It is a battlefield wrapped in destiny. The enemy knew your power together. That's why he worked overtime to divide you. There was interference. Someone you trusted stood too close. Their smile was familiar, but their spirit was contaminated. They were never for you. They feared what would rise if you stood in unity with the one I chose. So they fed your soulmate lies, twisted truths, subtle seeds of doubt planted in sacred soil. Your soulmate believed them. For a season, they did. But I disrupted their peace. I allowed confusion, not to punish, but to expose. I shattered the illusion they were living in, and in that shattering, they saw you again. Clear, unfiltered, true. They wept, not because they lost you, but because they allowed your image to be distorted. Now, they are searching, but they are afraid. What if you reject them? What if the damage is too deep? What if their truth is too heavy to carry? They are not coming to impress you. They are coming to be seen. They are carrying a confession, a wound, a truth that may unsettle you. But it's the doorway to everything I promised. You must decide. Will you listen through love or react from pain? I will speak again, and when I do, it will be unmistakable. There is a sound your spirit recognizes before your ears ever hear it. It's the sound of someone remembering you. Not just your name, but your essence. Your soulmate has begun to speak again. Not aloud, but in the spirit. Your name has returned to their thoughts, trembling like a candle rekindled in a dark room. They tried to forget. They tried to move on. They forced themselves to erase you, but I never let them, because I wrote you into their story, and now that story is rising again. But hear me, their journey back has been costly. They walked paths that wounded them. They trusted the wrong arms, and they lost pieces of themselves in places I never sent them. And in that brokenness, I whispered your name, not to haunt them, to heal them. They remembered the way your presence made them feel safe, the way their soul settled in yours, the purity of your connection before the world distorted it. And when they remembered, something inside them broke open. A vow they once made, a silent promise to never love again, is now undone. I unraveled it. I pulled at the threads in their sleep, in their dreams, until they could no longer run from truth. They are terrified, but they are coming. Do not expect a grand entrance. Expect trembling. Expect hesitation. Expect a voice that shakes under the weight of its own honesty. You are not just receiving a person. You are receiving a testimony. Be gentle. Be wise. And above all, be ready. You may not understand now, but you will. You've felt the shift, haven't you? The sudden weight in the air, the nights that pressed in heavier, the dreams you couldn't explain. That wasn't your imagination. That was the veil lifting. Because now, the spiritual war has reached your doorstep. I told Archangel Michael to stand watch, not over your comfort, but over your calling. What is approaching is not just a reunion. It is a reconnection with purpose. Your union holds power. That's why the warfare was so intense. The enemy didn't fear your love. He feared your impact. And so he sent distractions. He sent counterfeits, smooth voices, beautiful faces, comfortable lies, all to delay what was ordained. One, in particular, came close. You know who I'm talking about. The one whose energy felt familiar but whose spirit felt off. That wasn't coincidence. That was contamination. I let you feel uneasy on purpose. I let the timing feel strange and the words sound too perfect so your spirit would know. This is not the one. You did well to step back, but your soulmate, They weren't as guarded. They were swayed. There was a woman. Yes, you sensed her presence. You felt the shift. She smiled, but it was laced with envy. She wanted their attention, but more than that, she wanted to erase you. She saw your light and hated the way it made her feel small. But I intervened. She's been exposed, and now the one I sent is beginning to see again, with clear eyes and a trembling heart. This seed will bloom in time. Let it rest in the soil I've prepared. Not everything that was hidden was meant to stay buried. Your soulmate once wrote something. A fragment of their soul poured into ink, tucked away in silence. A note, a journal entry, a prayer they never thought would be read. It still exists. They wrote it during a moment when hope flickered, when the pain was too loud and the memory of you refused to fade. In those words was the rawest truth they ever spoke. That loving you was the only thing that ever made sense. I preserved it, not for nostalgia, but for evidence. You need to know, their love never died. It didn't vanish. It was buried, beneath fear, beneath shame, beneath the lies whispered by those who feared your light. But I have unearthed it. I sent Archangel Michael not only to warn you, but to protect this divine reawakening. Because what's returning is not romantic fluff. It is spiritual fire. It is legacy. It is impact. And it will demand your full attention. There is more at stake than emotion. Together, the two of you carry a light so fierce it disturbs darkness. That's why the opposition was relentless. That's why the delays cut deep. The enemy feared what would happen if you aligned. But I say to you now, nothing can stop what I've declared. Still, be wise. When they return, they will not be the same. They've been broken open. They carry weight, emotional, spiritual, sacred. Meet them not with interrogation, but with grace. Not with suspicion, but with discernment. This will not begin with fireworks. It will begin with a whisper. So listen well. Keep listening. I am not far. There's a door opening that you didn't even know was closed. It won't creak. It won't crash. It will simply swing open, quiet, precise, timed. And with it, two burdens will vanish. One around you, one within you. It will feel like breath after suffocation, like morning after a night that overstayed its welcome. That's how you'll know that I'm clearing the path. You have carried enough, and this release, it's not earned. It's given. A divine gift wrapped in mercy. But I need you to guard it. There is still danger near. Someone around you, yes, still close, wears the smile of support, but speaks words soaked in fear. They may not curse you aloud, but their doubts, their logic, their carefully masked concerns are a spiritual toxin. Do not let their fear dilute your faith. Protect what I'm planting. Not everyone should know what I'm doing. Some seeds grow best in hidden soil. And this moment of alignment is sacred beyond their understanding. Share it too soon and you risk contamination. Let me unfold it in silence. Listen, the air will shift. A child's laugh, a song in the distance, a memory that flashes like lightning across your chest. These are not accidents. These are confirmations. I am still speaking. Do not dismiss the signs just because they arrive softly. I don't always shout. Sometimes I just breathe. And when I breathe, the winds change. Stay still enough to feel it. Rest now, beloved. This was never out of my hands. Do you feel it? That pull in your spirit, like something ancient is remembering you. That's not coincidence. That's destiny coming to collect what was always yours. Your soulmate has made a decision, not a hesitant thought or a fragile wish, but a choice. Real, rooted, rising from a place of broken clarity. After all the silence, distractions, and delays, they've stopped running. Their spirit has turned toward you again, and now the veil is thinner than ever. But you must walk carefully. They will not come wearing the same face. Not because they've changed on the outside, but because what once drove them no longer owns them. They were stripped of illusion, ambition, and pride. What's left is raw humanity and a heart full of apology. But listen closely. This return is not about fixing what was. It's about stepping into what's been waiting. There was a woman, yes. Her smile masked something darker. She did not just want your soulmate. She wanted to erase the image of God reflected through your love. She envied the light in you because it exposed the shadows in her. She spoke small lies with surgical precision. And for a while, it worked. But light doesn't stay buried forever. I revealed her schemes. I allowed the house of deception to collapse. Your soulmate found proof, something undeniable, and they wept not just for what was lost, but for how easily they were deceived. This reunion will not be casual. It will come with holy fire. It will begin with truth. Be ready to receive it not with wounded pride, but with sacred strength. We are not done. The best chapter has not yet been read. There is a reason your name still echoes in rooms you've never entered. I placed it there, long before this season, long before your heartbreak, long before you learned to pray through clenched fists and silent tears. Someone who loved you, a mother, a father, a grandparent, once whispered a prayer over your future. That prayer became a seed, and now, in the soil of this very moment, it is breaking open. You may not know it yet, but there is a letter, hidden, forgotten, tucked away in a drawer, a box, a Bible, somewhere only I could preserve. It holds words about you, words they once wrote when they saw your pain before the world ever did. You will find it, or it will find you. And when you read it, you will cry. Not because you're weak, but because your soul will remember that I have been weaving this story since before you were formed. This love, this reconnection. It is not just about romance. It is restoration. It is the redemption of time, of silence, of lost years and broken trust. And you, child, are being honored for your endurance, for not settling, for holding your heart like treasure, even when it felt ignored. You asked me, does anyone really see me? I did, and now, so will they. But I must warn you once more, before they return, a counterfeit may appear. Sweet, timely, too perfect. They will say all the right things, but their spirit will feel forced. Their words will lack weight. Don't open the door. That is not me. It's not punishment. It's protection. Let this truth hold you steady. I am the one clearing your path. Now the winds have shifted. Can you feel it? That strange restlessness in the air, that pressure in your chest when the night grows still. That is the sound of heaven aligning what earth tried to scatter. Your soulmate is on their way, but not the version you once knew. That version is gone. This one walks slower, speaks softer, carries depth. They have been remade in the wilderness, shaped by fire, softened by loss, and now they come bearing what they never could before, truth. Not just love, not just emotion, truth. They carry a confession born in silence, sharpened by regret. Words they never spoke, not because they didn't feel them, but because they were afraid they wouldn't be received. You must be ready to hear them. Do not let pain speak louder than my spirit. Do not let the memory of their absence cloud the purpose of their return. You prayed for this. You waited for this. You survived for this. But I do not want you to react from wounds. I want you to respond from wisdom. Guard your heart, not with walls, but with grace. Let peace stand at your gate. Let discernment be your shield. This reconnection will be quiet at first, a message, a sign, a subtle reach. But your spirit will know. It will recognize them before your mind understands. In the next 72 hours, watch closely. A door will open that you never knocked on. A message you gave up on will appear. A person you thought had forgotten you will whisper your name again. Not aloud, but in spirit. Walk into it without fear. The story is not ending. It is just beginning. I have gone before you. I will walk beside you. I will meet you on the other side,